Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com. Here to do your weekly intuitive reading for Monday, December 21st through Sunday, December 27th, 2020. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Syrian Starseed Tarot by Patricia Corey and Alyssa Bartha for the main message for everyone. We also have a special message card for everyone from the Black Moon Astrology cards by Susan Shepard. And your special message card, depending on your stone of choice this week, will be coming from the Angels and Ancestors deck by Kyle Gray. So this is the last month of 2020 and almost nearing the end of the month with this week's reading. We have a few more days left after this, and I just can't even hardly believe that 2020 is already almost over, and I'm sure a lot of us are looking forward to 2021 coming in with a brand new energy. Of course, we will talk about that for the January monthly intuitive reading. So let's go ahead and start by looking at your stones of choice for this week's reading. By the way, I pushed my camera back a little bit further than normal from the cards because I wanted you to see this lovely bouquet of flowers that I have in the background. And they just wouldn't all fit if I pulled my camera closer. So for this week, we have more of a, I don't know, do you call it a bird's eye view? But I will definitely bring the cards closer to the camera so you can see them when we get to that part. So the stones of choice for the week. Okay, this first stone of choice. This is a beautiful slab, a slice, if you will, of pink tourmaline. Isn't that just a beautiful, beautiful color? This is a stone of love, self-love, compassion, and emotional healing. The pink tourmaline helps with anxiety and calms the emotions. And of course, it's related to the heart chakra. Okay. Your second stone of choice is a beautiful amethyst, and it's a pyramid. So this beautiful amethyst pyramid, amethyst is extremely protective and healing and purifying, helps to bring one's spiritual wisdom. It helps to release negative thoughts. And it also relates to the crown chakra, okay, which is our center of higher awareness, right? Higher perceptions. And then the last stone of choice, beautiful, unusual piece of what we call, let me see if I can get a good grip on it, shadakite, okay? For those of you that are wondering how to spell that, it's S-H-A-T-T-U-C-K-I-T-E, shadakite. And shadakite helps to connect you with your psychic and spiritual information, brings clarity to the mind, the heart, and the throat, helps to speak one's truth, so helping you to speak your truth, and of course relating to that throat chakra area. So again, your stones of choice are the pink tourmaline, the amethyst pyramid, and the shadakite. So let's go ahead and start by talking about the astrological energies for this week. Now, the last couple of weeks have been very busy astrologically, and this particular week is no different. After this week, as we go into the next week's weekly reading, it will calm down a little bit astrologically. But we start out this week on Monday, the 21st of December, which is the winter solstice. This is when the sun, which rules our identity, our ego, our personality, it's moving out of the sign of Sagittarius and it's moving into the sign of Capricorn on Monday the 21st. And that's why we call it the winter solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere. Okay, and those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, you're in the beginning of your summertime. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, this is our first day of winter officially. So Sun in Capricorn for the next month, we're focused on Capricorn energies, which is all about our goals, our ambitions, our career, our life path, our own sense of inner authority, who we are out in the world, deals with more practical matters. And the interesting thing about this winter solstice, Monday the 21st, is that on the very same day as when we have one of the highlights of especially this quarter of 2020, if not the whole year 2020, we have Jupiter and Saturn coming together in the sign of Aquarius. So let me give us a little bit of perspective here regarding this. Jupiter spends about 1 year in each sign of the zodiac. So it has been in Capricorn since late 2019, and all of 2020 thus far, it's been in that sign of Capricorn, which I just mentioned what the keywords for Capricorn was, right? Capricorn rules kind of the third dimensional reality that we live in, the patriarchal system, big business, our career, things that are political, rules and regulations, the status quo. All of that is ruled by Capricorn. Saturn spends about 2.5 years in a sign. So Saturn has been in Capricorn, which is his home sign, for the past 2.5 years. So it's a big deal that these two are coming together in Aquarius on the winter solstice. Now, last week's weekly intuitive reading, we had Saturn moving into Aquarius. I believe it was on the 16th, and I think a couple days later, last week, Jupiter went into Aquarius as well. But now they're coming together at the very first degree of Aquarius, which is 0 degrees. Okay, the first degree of every sign of the zodiac is the 0 degree point. So this is a critical degree, meaning it's a very special, potent, powerful degree for any planet to enter, which of course it always enters the 0 degree point as it first moves into any particular sign. But the fact that Jupiter and Saturn, which have been in Capricorn, especially for both of them, along with Pluto for this whole year of 2020, kind of bringing all of the experiences that we've had on a collective level. And now we have Jupiter, which rules expansion, it rules our belief systems, it rules potential blessings that are coming our way. And Saturn rules energies of restriction and limitation and karmic lessons, but also rules our ability to restructure something or ground something into reality or materialize something. So here we are with both of these planets going into Aquarius, which is the sign of the water bearer. Now, this is an air sign, even though it's the water bearer. It's not a water sign. It deals with the element of air. So this is about our thoughts, our ideas, our communications, our vision, and particularly with Aquarius, our vision for the future. It's a very futuristic kind of sign. Aquarius rules the age of Aquarius, and it rules technology, and it rules astrology, and it rules scientific breakthroughs. And it rules those of like mind coming together in groups to create a better reality, if you will, for humanity or for the collective. So the fact that Jupiter and Saturn on the winter solstice are coming together at 0 degrees of Aquarius is like birthing a new age. This is like birthing a new age, birthing a new energy. And as we are very close to now 2021, we're going to have a whole different kind of energy feeling going on. I'm not going to say all of the challenges are going to go away right away, but we're going to have a whole different energy dynamic with this Aquarian energy being birthed now. And as I said, Jupiter will be in Aquarius for about a year. Saturn will be there for 2.5 years. So it'll be interesting to see the restructuring that takes place, the growth that takes place, and all of the Aquarian humanitarian scientific breakthrough, types of energies, inventions, and free energy and things of that nature that take place during these next months. On Wednesday the 23rd, this is something potent as well. We have Mars, which is the warrior planet. Mars is the warrior. He rules energy, action, and forward movement. He's in his home sign of Aries. Now, he's been there a long time because he went retrograde this year. So when Mars in Aries, that wants to move forward fast, went retrograde, it slowed things down a lot. As we all know, things haven't moved forward very fast for any of us because of COVID. Now Mars is in Aries, picking up speed, going forward again, and it won't spend too much longer there. Actually, by mid-January 2021, it will be moving into the next sign, Taurus. But for today, Wednesday 23rd, Mars in Aries is going to be challenging Pluto, and Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth and power and control and transformation and regeneration and transmutation. So big changes happen with Pluto. And with Mars being the activator planet, Mars being that warrior planet, is really pushing to create some sort of transformation and change. And it is a square aspect, which may bring up some sort of challenge here. Which, not surprising, a couple of days after Jupiter and Saturn come together in that Aquarian energy, it's going to initiate something new and different. And there might be some kickback from other people, kickback from systems, kickback from groups that don't want to see their power taken away or don't want to kind of give up, their place in the world, if you want to say it that way. Also on Wednesday the 23rd, we have Mercury, which is the planet that rules our mind, our thoughts, our perceptions, our communications, currently in Capricorn. So there's practical thoughts here, practical ideas, practical communication, ideas revolving around our goals and ambitions. But Mercury in Capricorn will be challenging Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. So we have two things happening on Wednesday, and they're both squares or challenges. Mercury challenging Chiron might bring up difficult communications, and it could be difficult communications with other people, but it also could be communications within ourselves, self-talk, if you will, or not being able to express oneself, not being able to get our ideas across. So there could be, again, some difficult energies there. However, on Thursday, the very next day, Mercury moves on and now is making a positive, free-flowing kind of aspect to Uranus. Uranus brings in quick, sudden, unexpected energies. So in this case, we might have some sudden, unexpected communication or messages coming in with it connecting with Mercury. So this could be good. This could be definitely something positive that's coming in. So look for the unexpected on Thursday. On Friday, the Sun, again, newly in Capricorn. Now the Sun is challenging Chiron, the wounded healer, on Friday. And then as of Sunday, the Sun will move on and make that positive connection to Uranus, just like Mercury did on Wednesday and Thursday. So the Sun, again, is about our ego, our identity, how we shine our light. It's challenging Chiron on Friday, so it might bring up some wounds regarding our sense of self or self-identity, especially with our career path, life path, destiny path area, or with our sense of authority or take charge ability. But then by Sunday, it's making that positive connection to Uranus. So again, we might have some sort of unexpected support of some kind. Maybe someone steps in to assist us in some way, or we're just feeling more free. We free ourselves from whatever that Chiron wound is that we felt on Friday, and we're now kind of breaking out of it and breaking free. So that's a little bit about the astrological energies. Let's see what comes out here from our angels and guides. So the first card that comes out, wow, this is the Great Wheel. This is Major Arcana number 10. This is like the Wheel of Fortune in the traditional tarot. And doesn't that make a whole lot of sense? Because again, we're birthing a new energy with Jupiter, Saturn coming together in Aquarius. And we're ending 2020 really soon. So the Great Wheel here is saying that there's a shift here in our karmic destiny. There's a shift happening in the energies. The wheel of karma is turning. The wheel of fortune is turning. The wheel of blessings is turning. So I'm hoping that this means that we are moving or turning that wheel from one of feeling a lack of blessings or feeling restrictions and limitations, and as we move into 2021, that we're starting to feel that shift of energy with the birth of the Aquarian Age with Jupiter, Saturn, and we're starting to feel like there's hope again. We're starting to feel some sort of movement, even if it's on an energetic level first. This is telling us that there is movement, there's going to be movement, expect movement. Maybe it's not all this week, maybe it's as we move into 2021, but know that that wheel of fortune, that great wheel, is shifting directions. So you can see here that the configuration in the middle of this wheel is a balanced configuration, right? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, it doesn't look like the Star of David, which is a 6-pointed star. Kind of it does, although it's rounded points. But the six-pointed Star of David, or this six kind of directional configuration, can be likened to as above, so below. You know, that would be to me what the six-pointed Star of David or the Merkaba is about, is as above, so below. But there's definitely a balance here with this energy. You can see this is a very free-flowing, balanced geometric shape. So there's movement, free-flowing, positive, harmonious movement that's happening here. This also to me looks like planetary cycles too, and you can see, to me, that looks like these are kind of planetary cycles going around the sun or going around the earth or whatever it might be. So this to me means pay attention. Pay attention to what these planetary cycles are, not just this week with Jupiter and Saturn, but I feel like any upcoming in 2021 important planetary cycles that will be taking place, which definitely we'll be talking about in future videos. But make sure that you're paying attention to what those planetary energies are all about as well. So the second card that came out as two cards. And the first card here, okay, we have the Two of Orbs. This is like the Two of Swords in the traditional tarot. And the Two of Swords sometimes means we're at a stalemate as far as our thoughts and ideas, or that we have to choose between two things. We have to make a choice or decision between two or maybe more than two possibilities or opportunities. This can mean also about staying balanced on a mental body level. So again, our thoughts, perceptions, belief systems, that we have to stay balanced and not get out of whack, so to speak, with how we're thinking about things. The other thing that strikes me here is the orb that she has here in her right hand is kind of up above or higher, and the orb she has down here, or that she's kind of juggling, if you will, in her left hand, is a little bit lower. And if orbs represent swords in the traditional tarot, which represents our mind and how we're thinking and perceiving or communicating, I feel like this symbology is about choosing higher thoughts rather than lower thoughts, right? Because we have a lower mental body, which the ego sometimes gets in the way, and then we have a higher mental body, which is our higher soul self. And we can think negatively or think glass half empty, or we can think positively and think glass half full. And I feel like this is a reminder to stay balanced mentally, but always choose the higher mental body, choose the higher thoughts, choose the higher perceptions here. I feel like that's a strong reminder to do so. Let's look at the card that came out with the Two of Orbs. Okay. And we have the Adept of Flames. The Adept of Flames. This is like the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Fire in the traditional tarot. So the Knight of Fire, or the Adept of Flames, usually in traditional tarot is seen on a horse, and he's galloping forward hurriedly, fast. This symbology, this card, is not picturing that at all. This card is interesting because it's picturing the knight or the adept in more of a stationary, almost self-reflective kind of position. In fact, he's got a lit candle behind him, which almost suggests going within, doing some meditation, having some self-contemplation. And it's interesting that he has this golden orb, if you will, lighting up his solar plexus chakra down here. And the solar plexus chakra is his willpower, his confidence, his creative, well, it's not really creative self-expression, that's the sacral chakra, but it's definitely his confidence, his willpower, his take charge ability, his leadership ability. And sometimes it's about our ego too, right? And the Knight of Wands, or the Knight of Flames, the Adept of Flames, sometimes has a big ego. Sometimes, because he's a little bit more immature, he's not quite as mature as the king is, but he's more mature than the page. But he's in the process. He's in the process of growing, becoming more wise, gaining more information. And this, to me, again, is more of this kind of self-reflective, going within and understanding that solar plexus energy, understanding that willpower within, and how to hone it and use it wisely, to not use it haphazardly, to not get into the ego. Again, he looks more calm and self-reflective here. And because it came out with that Two of Orbs card, and the Two of Orbs, again, can get caught up in negative thinking or negative thoughts or beliefs or perceptions and needing to stay balanced. And here the adept could choose the lower mental mind, which is more egotistical or ego-driven, and it's more about my will, be done, and this is the way I want things, and I'm going to exude my sense of power and control over people because it's solar plexus chakra. But this adept has a choice because he has the ability to choose the glass half full. He has the ability to choose the higher mental body, the higher thoughts, the higher perceptions, the higher communication with other people, with himself, with his own, with his higher soul self and whatnot. He has the ability to use his power more wisely. So it's almost like a choice. And I feel like he's in this meditative stance, which goes really well with the fact that we're having the winter solstice, right? Winter solstice, a time to reflect, a time to go within, a time to do soul searching, self-healing, having a greater understanding of ourselves, attaining more of this inner wisdom and knowledge. And that's what I think this adept in this particular card is suggesting that we do. All right, let's take a look at the last card here. And the last card is the Seeker of Flames, okay? So interesting, the flames are fire, right? We're in some earth energy, and Jupiter and Saturn are in an air sign, but we had the Adept of Flames, and now we have the Seeker of Flames. This is like the Page of Wands, the Page of Fire. And it can indicate messages that are going to be coming to us, whether they be from other people, whether they be from our higher soul self, our angels and guides, universal information coming to us. But I feel like, too, the way this image is looking, it's almost like this person is on their knees. It's almost like they're asking for some sort of message. They're asking for some sort of assistance. They're asking to be shown the way. It's almost like they're kind of praying or meditating, if you will, in front of this God. And I don't know who the God is, but it definitely has some fire and some flame here. And this person is almost, throwing their arms up and asking for some sort of help, guidance, protection, assistance, messages from outside of themselves. Now, I would suggest to look within yourselves, like the Adept of Flames there seems to be more in a self-contemplative mode. But the Seeker of Flames, I feel like there's more information coming. There's more messages, guidance, and, again, information coming to us, and maybe from outside of us, but also remember to look within to seek that information. I feel like, with the Jupiter, Saturn, and birthing the new age of energies here, we have, again, the Wheel of Fortune suggesting a huge shift of energy, but there's going to be more things becoming clear. Either more things becoming clear here, or that we're seeking more information to have a greater understanding of what's occurring or what has occurred. Okay. Now, I did say that we have a special message card. I laid it down over here because I didn't want to cover up the beautiful candle, but it is right here, and it's from, again, the Black Moon Astrology deck. And I did this because we are, having the winter solstice this week, but again, more importantly, we have the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius, and I felt like the astrology cards maybe could give us a special message for all of us about what that's about. And I will say that when I was shuffling and meditating on what the special message was, this card did flip out, fall out, jump out of the deck. It fell on the floor. It fell on the floor face up, so I actually saw what it was. And this is number 48, and it says Yod, and it says Destiny at the bottom. And I felt guided to, and I hardly ever, rarely do I ever look at any kind of information in any of the books when I'm doing weekly or monthly intuitive readings on YouTube, especially because I usually don't see the cards or know the cards ahead of time. But this one, as I said, fell out face up. And so I felt guided to go ahead and look up the information in the book to gain a better understanding of how I could relate to you what this is all about. And then again, something that I almost next to never do is I felt guided to read certain portions of this particular card description to you, because I feel like it's so important and powerfully put, and such a special message for all of us as we move out of 2020 and into 2021. Now again, Yod, and it says destiny. And remember, Jupiter and Saturn, very important birth of a new cycle of the Aquarian Age of energy here, movement forward, restructuring the collective of humanity and the systems on the planet. And of course, it's going to take time, but it's part of the destiny that's occurring for all of us. It's part of something that is meant to happen. This is very timely, right? This is a very timely energy. And so I'm going to set this down here, and I'm going to look at the interesting kind of configuration there, right? We have some interesting geometric shape information, configuration. This actually shows you what a yod in an astrological chart looks like. So it is a triangle, and I will tell you that it also is called the finger of fate or the finger of God. And let's just read you a little bit out of that. And you might even want to close your eyes here and just kind of take it in, okay? All right. So the ancients believed that the yod was an area of fate in the chart, also called the eye of God or the finger of God. The yod is an interesting astrological configuration. It's linked to the Hebrew alphabet. The yod is the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and it has mystical implications, signifying the omnipresence of God and often denoting humility, because the energy is locked in that triangular configuration, causing matters to feel or be fated and often challenging, but not without their rewards. The yod configuration is influential and implies that there is a disruptive force at work. Okay, and then I'm going to skip over some of this, and it also says here that even though the energies may seem chaotic, it's soon going to turn into a different direction. And it may be difficult to see any clear path because of the chaos, but it's important to weather it all through. This is not a negative thing. This is a process where we're scaling things down and weeding out what is unnecessary. But more than that, this card is about finding your own truth, even though that truth may not be reflected through others. This card can denote a time to voyage inward and come to your own truth. And there's some other things in there, but I thought at least those couple of things was the essence of that message for this particular week. So let's go ahead and take a look at your special message card depending on your stone of choice. So those that chose the pink tourmaline, that pink tourmaline, special message for the week for pink tourmaline people. Okay, this one's sticking up. I'm going to choose, whoops, okay. There is two of them, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull both of them. And the first one says, Medicine Guardian, be open to healing information. So we're, again, that winter solstice, it's a great time for inner healing, whether it's physical healing, emotional healing, mental healing, spiritual healing, right? So the Medicine Guardian, that could be anything from flower essences to herbs to essential oils to meditation even. Meditation can be our medicine. So this is definitely telling you that you need to be open to whatever your own personal healing process is guiding you to immerse yourself in. That's what I feel from this particular card. Now, card that came out with it, oh, well, that's fitting, Shaman. Shaman, trust in the higher forces. So we got a lot of healing energy here with the healing guardian and then the shaman. And the shaman is about going within, right? Shamanic journeying, you know, either on yourself or through an actual shaman or someone who does shamanic journeying. We have an owl here depicted, which is about, again, going within, finding your own inner guide, connecting with your own inner wisdom, your inner truth. Owls, to me, are about silent wisdom, and the shaman is about silent wisdom. And we almost have like, it almost looks like a clock. I don't know that it is, but it reminded me, when I glanced at it, it looked like a clock. So it's something about time, and I feel like something about past life. So here I feel like we're healing a lot of past life, subconscious, karmic wounds from this life too, but also from previous lifetimes, previous incarnations. There's a lot that's clearing out. There has been a lot, right? The last couple of weeks, since the end of November with the eclipses. And then we had Chiron last week turning direct. Boy, that was intense for me. You know, there's just been a lot of energies here from the very end of November and through December so far that's been shifting and healing and releasing and purging and transmuting old energies. And it looks like for those of you that chose the pink tourmaline, there's a lot more of that that's going on. We have this wonderful Native American shaman here. And some of the patterns or subconscious, you know, energies that are being transmuted here for you all might have something to do with relationship matters as well, as the pink tourmaline is heart chakra, right? Old emotional wounds, maybe related to relationships that are affecting you. All right, so let's put that up there, and then let's pull the special message card for the Amethyst Pyramid people. Okay, special message for Amethyst. Amethyst Pyramid people. Special message for Amethyst. This one's calling my attention, and it is, oh, Guardian Angel. Okay, so here we have the Guardian Angel. It says, you are not alone, okay? So it feels like, you know, again, 2020 has been heavy. The last few weeks have been heavy and powerful and bringing up a lot of stuff on a lot of levels for people. And your angels and guides want you to know that they are there with you. They're guiding you, they're protecting you, they're assisting you. You're not alone. You may feel like, you know, with some of the challenges going on, you might feel like you're alone, or that, you know, that you're not getting any direction or clarity as far as what to do. But look for the signs. The white feather is often a sign that, you know, an angel or your guardian angel is with you, and to pay attention. Sometimes the white feather can also mean a deceased loved one on the other side is letting you know that they're there, that they're, you know, watching over you, that they love you. So watch for the signs is what I feel like needs to be said with this card, that your angels and guides, they're assisting you, they're guiding you through messages and signs, maybe animal totems, maybe the feathers, maybe something that you read or overhear in a conversation with somebody else. Of course, guidance can come in all different forms. So it's just about being aware and being open to however that guidance comes. We also have a sun here, a moon here, and the eye of God right here, which is interesting. You see that eye right up there at the top? And remember, the yod was also called the finger of fate, or the finger of God, also called the eye of God. I don't know if I mentioned that, but the yod is also called the eye of God. And here we have an interesting configuration with an eye and a sun and a moon here as well. So again, paying attention to the planetary cycles and what those planetary cycles are universally or spiritually saying to you, you know, what kind of messages of guidance those planetary cycles are giving to you personally. All right, and then for those of you that chose the Shattuckite people, special message for Shattuckite. One on the bottom really feels like it's calling my attention as I put it on the bottom here. So, oh, High Priestess, yes. High Priestess, it says harness mystical power. So this is the divine feminine to me, and the balance of the divine masculine. I mean, this is a High Priestess, so she's definitely the divine feminine, the epitome of powerful divine feminine energy, and mysterious divine feminine energy, there with her wonderful black cat, her familiar. But the High Priestess also has almost that balance of divine masculine energy, because she has that magic. She has that ability as the seer, the one with power that can transform or transmute or create or bring things magically into existence. She has some sort of a magic tool here in her wand, suggesting again that magic. Again, she's got her black cat, her black familiar, which is about mystery and power. She's got wings here, suggesting her connection to the angelic realm or the higher spiritual realms. She's got a wonderful headdress on her head, suggesting that she's got an open crown chakra to channel higher information. She's got an ability for higher wisdom, higher awareness, and again, that higher information kind of coming through her crown chakra. And altogether, she utilizes all of these special tools that she has. And interestingly enough, there is a Merkaba up there, if you can see that. That six-pointed Star of David, that Merkaba energy, which is also very magical as well. That helps to kind of transform, transmute, raise our vibration, magically, assist us in different planes of reality in time and space. So this very powerful priestess energy, I feel like you're needing to merge with her, merge with that inner priestess, merge with that inner magic, merge with that higher awareness, that mystical, magical, powerful ability that's within you. All right. Well, I hope you've liked this very powerful message this week. I know I have. So definitely thank you so much, everyone, for your love and support in 2020. This is the last full week in December. Next week's reading will be moving into January, just into. And I want to say thank you so much for all of your love and support, your wonderful comments. Thank you for subscribing to my channel, sharing my videos, and checking out my website, Sacred Soul Empowerment. There's ongoing changes still yet to come. It's been a slow go of it in 2020, and definitely tried to push a little faster, but 2020 dictated patience and a slowing down all the way around, as you all know. So hopefully we have faster changes and more excitement and sense of freedom to come in that New Year's energy. I'll see you in the next intuitive weekly and or monthly reading. So love and light, everyone. Namaste.